Hey there, nostalgia lovers! Welcome back to Nostalgia Area, where the past is always cooler than the present and doesn't come with monthly subscription fees. Today, we're diving into a delightful blast from the past. Iconic toys from the 60s that every kid had to have. Back then, playtime wasn't just about fun. It was about surviving molten plastic, navigating tiny furniture, and maybe getting lightly electrocuted. Looking at you, Operation. So grab your favorite childhood snack, bonus points if it's still radioactive, and let's take a trip down memory lane. First on our list is the Chatty Cathy doll. Released in 1960 by Mattel, this adorable doll became an instant sensation. Why? Because she could actually talk. By pulling a string on her back, kids could hear her say various phrases, which was pretty high-tech for the time. Every little girl wanted one, unless, of course, you were terrified of dolls whispering to you at night. Then, maybe not. Next up, we have Rock'em Sock'em Robots, a game that let you settle sibling rivalries the classy way, with plastic robot boxing. Two players controlled red and blue robots, furiously pressing buttons to knock their opponent's block off, literally. It wasn't just a game, it was a test of skill, speed, and strategy. Decades later, it's still remembered as one of the coolest and most competitive toys ever. Now, here's one for the "how did this even get approved" files. The Creepy Crawlers Thing Maker. Kids would pour liquid plastic into metal molds and bake up their own rubber bugs in a tiny oven. Yes, molten plastic, because nothing says fun like potentially branding yourself while making glow-in-the-dark centipedes. Speaking of ovens, who could forget the Easy Bake Oven? First introduced in 1963, this miniature oven allowed kids to bake tiny cakes and cookies using just a light bulb as the heat source. For many, it was their first experience in the kitchen and sparked a lifelong love of baking. It was more than a toy. It was a gateway to culinary creativity. While dolls were typically marketed to girls, boys of the 60s got their own version with G.I. Joe, the world's first action figure. Released in 1964, he was basically Barbie's rugged cousin who parachuted into danger instead of glamping. With movable joints and tons of accessories, kids could create endless adventures, from jungle rescues to daring parachute jumps. Of course, we can't talk about iconic toys without mentioning Barbie. By the 60s, Barbie was already a household name, but what every kid really wanted was the Barbie dream house. Pink, plastic, and packed with all the mid-century modern flair a 12-inch fashion icon could dream of. No kitchen? No problem. Barbie didn't need to cook. She had an Easy Bake Oven down the block. If you were a car-loving kid in the 60s, Hot Wheels were your dream come true. These tiny die-cast cars, first introduced in 1968, came in all sorts of sleek designs and bright colors. But what really made them special were the orange plastic tracks, which kids could use to race their cars at high speeds. Hot Wheels weren't just toys, they were an obsession. Another classic from the 60s is the Etch-a-Sketch, basically the original iPad. If the iPad was made of aluminum and demanded artistic wizardry just to draw a circle. The magic of creating intricate designs and then erasing them to start anew made it an endlessly entertaining toy. Its simplicity and tactile nature encouraged creativity and problem solving, making it a beloved staple in many households. Who didn't love making glowing pictures with Light Bright? Introduced in 1967, this toy allowed kids to create colorful designs by inserting translucent pegs into a backlit board. Sure, you lost 90% of the pegs under the couch within a week, but that first unicorn you lit up in the dark, iconic. It was basically pixel art before pixels were cool. Another artistic favorite from the 60s was the spirograph. This geometric drawing toy used plastic gears and a pen to create intricate spiraling patterns. It was both mesmerizing and educational, teaching kids about shapes and symmetry while letting them unleash their creativity. The endless possibilities of patterns and designs fostered an appreciation for both art and mathematics, making it a tool for learning and play. The precision and beauty of the designs created a sense of accomplishment and wonder. While the original Slinky was invented in the 40s, the 60s gave us the Slinky dog, made famous decades later by the Toy Story movies. With his stretchy midsection and friendly face, Slinky Dog was a hit with kids who loved pulling him along on adventures around the house. The toy's whimsical design and interactive nature made it a favorite companion for imaginative play. The Slinky Dog's ability to navigate stairs and perform tricks added an element of surprise and delight to playtime. Bzzzt. Ah yes, Operation, the game that doubled as a cardiac stress test. This electrifying game, introduced in 1965, challenged players to remove tiny plastic organs from a patient without touching the metal edges. It was a hilarious and nerve-wracking game that tested kids' hand-eye coordination and their ability to stay calm under pressure. The game's combination of humor and skill made it a memorable and engaging experience, creating laughter and excitement with every play. Troll dolls, because apparently nothing says kids' toy like wide-eyed naked gremlins with rainbow hair. Originally created in Denmark, these little figurines became a global phenomenon. Kids loved collecting them in different sizes and colors, and they were often used as good luck charms. We loved them. We brushed their hair, collected them all, and somehow weren't creeped out by their weird little bellies. Childhood is weird. Sometimes the simplest toys are the most fun. Case in point, the Super Ball. This high-bouncing rubber ball, introduced in the early 60s, could soar to incredible heights with just a flick of the wrist. It was perfect for outdoor play and became a must-have toy for active kids. The ball's incredible bounce and durability provided endless entertainment and physical activity, encouraging kids to play outside and engage in energetic games. The vacuform was a toy that said, "Hey kids, let's vacuform hot plastic." It was basically a mini factory with very few safety regulations. OSHA who? By heating up a sheet of plastic and pressing it over a mold, kids can make everything from cars to figurines. It was a toy that combined creativity with a bit of engineering know-how. The process of shaping and molding plastic introduced kids to basic principles of design and manufacturing, making it both an educational and enjoyable activity. Silly Putty might not look like much, but it was a big hit in the 60s. Kids loved stretching it, bouncing it, and pressing it onto comic strips to transfer the images. It was one of those simple toys that provided endless hours of entertainment. The putty's unique properties and versatility made it a fascinating and fun toy, allowing kids to experiment with its various uses and discover new ways to play. While Mr. Potato Head first debuted in the 50s, he really hit his stride in the 60s. With new plastic parts and a safer design, kids could create all sorts of wacky characters by sticking eyes, ears, and hats onto the iconic potato-shaped body. The toy's mix-and-match concept encouraged creativity and storytelling, as children invented their own characters and scenarios. Endless laughs, especially when you put the mouth on top of his head. Comedy gold. The chatter telephone, with its colorful design and friendly face, was a staple for toddlers in the 60s. As kids pulled it along, its eyes would wiggle and a bell would ring, making it both adorable and interactive. It was one of those toys that brought joy to the youngest members of the family. The chatter telephone's engaging features and playful design made it a delightful companion for early childhood exploration and play. And finally, the ViewMaster, aka the original VR headset. By inserting a reel of 3D images into the viewer, kids could explore everything from famous landmarks to scenes from their favorite cartoons. No Wi-Fi required, just your imagination and a good thumb. It was a window to a world of wonder and adventure. The ViewMaster's immersive and educational content provided endless opportunities for discovery and learning, sparking curiosity and imagination. And there you have it, folks, a toy box full of 60s magic, memories, and mild danger. Whether you were baking with a light bulb, drawing spirals like a tiny architect, or making bug molds with actual heat, these toys made childhood unforgettable. What were your favorites from the 60s? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep those nostalgic vibes alive. Until next time, stay groovy.